All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today, I am going to be reviewing Independence Square by Martin Cruz Smith. This is book number 10 in his Russian Arkady Renko spy thriller mystery series. Now, this book, the whole series started back in 1981 with the very famous and wildly successful Gorky Park thriller novel. I remember as a kid when this book came out, it was a big deal. I mean, they made a big blockbuster movie out of it, and it was just huge. It was everywhere. It was just one of those blockbuster hits like the Da Vinci Code, but this was back in the early 80s. And now he's to book number 10 in the series. So we followed this guy, Arkady Renko, from 1981 in the middle of the Russia and the Cold War. And this book, I'll eventually do a review of this book and the whole series as a whole. But if you want a sense of the claustrophobia that the people felt when they lived in Russia in the 70s and 80s under the communism, this book does such a dynamite and chilling job of that. And anyway, things are different in Russia now. Clearly, Russia has been through a lot of changes since 1981. But they're still up to their, bad ways. Martin Cruz Smith. Let's talk about the cover first. This is a basic, thriller novel cover. Yeah, there's nothing real grand or special about it. It does its job admirably. So, Arkady Renko, of course. Oh, there's maps in this book, too. Because I love maps. There's maps of different things that are happening here in Ukraine and Russia, things like that. Anyway, so Arkady Renko, clearly he's an older man now. He's actually, if you read the introduction to this book, Martin Cruz Smith talks about how Arkady Renko is getting older and is starting to develop Parkinson's disease, which the author himself talks about his own experiences with Parkinson's disease as he gets older. So he makes a very specific point of emphasis that he wrote this book almost as therapy for his own issues. He's like, I've got Parkinson's disease. I'm going to give my main character Parkinson's disease. I'm going to suss out some of my issues through this novel. He's very upfront about that. Anyway, so Arkady Renko, our main spy thriller guy that we followed through 10 magnificent books, is now getting old, Parkinson's disease, and he's parked at a desk job because the upper management sees that he's nearing retirement age. He's got some physical ailments. Let's put him in a desk job, and he doesn't like that. In fact, the very first opening scene is about that very subject. I thought it was pretty cool. You know what the two most depressing words in the Russian language are? Arkady asked. How long have I got? Victor's voice sounded thick with gravel, which was always a sign that the previous night he hadn't so much fallen off the wagon as plunged from it. Desk job, Arkady said. In a country which embraces tragedy, nothing is more tragic than a man with a desk job. As a great investigator, you always zero in on the truth. Yeah, so apparently the Russian spies, they want to be out in the field. They don't want no desk job. But Arkady gets a desk job. His girlfriend Tatiana has left him. He's got Parkinson's disease. This book takes place in the frenzied days leading up to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Takes place in 2021. Things aren't going good. Like I said, his boss has put him in a desk job, yada, yada, yada. And will he fall in love again? And his girlfriend has left him. Anyway, what happens is his other friend, he's got another friend, who says he's asked to find his friend's daughter. His friend's daughter has gone missing. Her name is Karina. She's an anti-Putin activist. And Arkady is like, he jumps at the chance. He's like, get me out of this fucking desk job. I will go on a mission to help find your daughter. And but he knows it's not going to, I mean, because the war in Ukraine is coming up. Anybody that's anti-Putin is going to disappear, and not disappear in like hide and go seek way, but like literally they're going to be disappeared. I mean, the Russians disappear people. They don't just put them in a prison. They just disappear them. And so he kind of knows this. So he goes out onto this quest to find this girl. He meets the girl's roommate, Elena, a Tartar from Ukraine. And of course, he immediately falls in love with her. You gotta have a love story in a spy thriller. So his search for this girl, this missing girl, leads him, of course, to Kiev, through Ukraine, through Crimea. Clearly Martin Cruz Smith is not only using this novel as a discussion of his own Parkinson's disease and how a spy might deal with that, how a Russian spy specifically might deal with that, but he's also kind of getting some of his political thoughts about Russia invading Ukraine sort of out on paper. But that's par for the course with this series, because this series deals with a Russian man who is a Russian spy and works for Russia, and he's investigated a lot of things in the 10-book series that deal with specific bits and points of Russian history. Anyway, just another great entry into the series. I'm thinking, that our man Arkady Renko at book 10 is probably going to be his last case. I don't know. With the physical ailments he's got, he's getting older from 1981 to 2023. He's been a Russian spy / investigative dude for a long time, 81 till now. And he was no spring chicken in 81 when he started. So anyway, I give this a solid 8 out of 10. I just wish it could have been a little longer. It's probably the shortest book in the series. It's about 240 pages. But anyway, that's that.